and without a website, all they have is Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg owns that. So that page can go down anytime he feels like it.
Oh, you nailed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you wouldn't build a house and have
Mhm.
somebody else own it on a
Mm.
property that somebody else owns,
Oh,
you
yes.
know? So
Yes.
your website, that's the only thing you have control over. You
Yes.
can have an Instagram, a TikTok, a Facebook,
Mhm.
all those things.
Yeah.
But if they decide to take it down, there's not a thing you can do about it.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa, and this channel offers business coaching by interviewing business experts and experienced entrepreneurs. In this interview, we will be discussing the essentials of website design for beginners. So whether you're looking to create a personal blog or professional website for your business, this interview will provide you with some invaluable insights to help you get started. Joining us today is Catherine Hayford. She's an experienced web designer who has worked in marketing for 30 years. From graphic design to website development, she has a passion for teaching others how to take control of their branding. So without further ado, let's get into it. Catherine, welcome to Ambitious Living, and thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for asking.
Definitely. So today we're going to be talking about website design, and we both know that websites are the virtual storefront for business. And how it's presented can make or break a business. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on what makes a good website from someone doing it themselves and from someone selecting a web designer. But before we dive in, how did you get your start in this field?
I started in this field because I worked with my mother. My
Mm-hmm.
mother opened a business, a telemarketing business,
Mm-hmm.
when I was 11 years old. So I started working for her at
Mm-hmm.
11 on the phones. And it evolved because, we started out with telephones and phone books, and it just kept evolving, and that kind of died off.
Yeah.
And then she, at 72 years old, taught herself how to do websites.
Wow.
So then we started with that. When she passed away, she was still working. And we had a client that had already paid for a website,
Yeah.
and she passed away. And I thought, okay, I got to get this done.
Yeah.
So I was like, guess what? I'm going to do my first website. So I did. And that's kind of how it started.
I love that. I love that. Life just kind of threw you a curveball and you're like, well, this has got to get finished. This has got to get done. So I better jump in.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to learn how to do this right now. And I did. So
I love that. So, what are the most important factors? If I'm starting out brand new and I'm trying to, design a website myself, I don't have a lot of ducats in my pocket. What are the most important factors to consider when designing a website?
I would say simplicity.
Mm,
There's a difference between a website, a blog, and
mhm,
social media. A
mhm,
website, if you think about it in the old school advertising sense,
mhm.
is like a page in the yellow pages. When
Yes.
people come in, and because of social media and how
Mm,
everything is right now, people have 30 seconds of attention span.
yes.
They're not going to sit and look through your website for an hour and a half and read everything. So
Mm,
you want to right off the bat tell them what you do,
yeah.
who you are, and what you have to offer, and why yours is the best.
Mm,
Worry about pricing later. I tell a lot of people, don't put prices on your website.
really?
Yeah, because that may scare people off because they don't understand what they're getting for that money. So I
Yes.
tell people, give them the information first, let them call you, and then you tell them why they want to choose you as a business. And then you talk about price. Price should always be last. I always want my clients to feel like their needs are met before we start talking about money.
I love that.
So I think it's very important to keep it simple, and not really wordy. And also because Google, when you're trying to be on a search engine,
Mhm.
they're looking for keywords. If there's too much there, Google gets confused and doesn't know what to pull. So you want to, your first sentence, 3 or 4 sentences, your first
Yeah.
paragraph. That's
Yeah.
it. What
Yeah.
I do, who I am, and what I offer. Done. You
Wow.
want to do all the explanations, put a
Mhm.
blog on your website.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
do that in social media, or you do that over the phone. It needs to be very simple.
I love that because you're right. It should be about who am I? What do I have to offer? This is what I can do for you. And
Yeah.
you're right about the price thing because immediately our eyes go to price. We're trying to
Yeah.
figure out how much is this going to cost me? You know, what's
Right.
and instead of how can I get my needs met? Do you have what I do? What do you have what I need? And
Yes.
can I get my needs met with you? I love that.
Yeah, that should be first. I even tell the artists when I do their with people who have products, don't
Mhm.
put that price right under the first picture on the first page. You
Yeah.
know, let them look at the product, let them understand what it is, then they can push a button and go to where they buy it.
Wow.
You
I love
know,
that.
if you look at Amazon, yes, there's a lot of prices, but even Amazon, the very first thing is the picture and the description. You
You're
scroll
right.
down to see, you know what I mean? So if you think about that, that's a good way to do it. You don't want to scare people off with the price because they're like, oh, that's too expensive, and they just move on. They don't even take the time to look. So I want them to look first. Then
Right.
I'll pull them in and tell them the price.
No, I think that's so important because you want to sell people on what it is you have to offer. And if they get
Mhm.
invested in what it is you have to offer, then they will be more likely to purchase whatever it is that you have to offer.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Yes, definitely.
So when it comes to the right colors and fonts and graphics, those things can make or break a website. What are some
Yes, yes, they can.
guidelines that we should follow? If I'm doing this on my own, I'm doing a DIY website, what are some of the guidelines that we should follow?
I really did I think it depends on your brand. If
Okay.
you're going to pick a font or color,
Mhm.
make sure people can see what you're doing.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll see, someone who loves pastels, which I just did one for a girl who's a baker,
Yeah.
which it's, of course that goes great with baking,
Mhm.
pastel colors.
Mhm.
But we have to make sure people can see them,
Yes.
so you can't have white font on a pink background. Nobody's gonna be able to read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of thing. And
Mhm.
a font that people can read.
Yes.
There's millions of fonts out there, and that's great. Make sure it's one that is easy to find as well. Because sometimes you'll find a really cool font. You'll go to a web designer and they're like, we got to buy that font. You can't just use it. So you also have to be
Oh,
very, very careful about copyright because there are some fonts that are copyrighted.
I did not know that.
Okay, so here's an example. Calvin Klein. Their
Yeah.
entire logo is Calvin Klein. It's that font.
Oh,
You can't just take that font and use it for whatever you want. You can get sued. It's the
wow.
same way with pictures. If you go on to Google, some people will go, oh, well, I can download things off of Pinterest.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, but you don't have the right to use it
Wow.
in a commercial sense. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing with font. And you also kind of have to be careful about branding things. If you're a hamburger place and
Hmm.
your first name is, you want to call it Mike's Burgers
Yeah.
and you want to use that big M and you want to make it yellow, be very, very careful.
Right. Like
Do you see what I mean? So you
very,
just
very
kind of
careful.
very careful because McDonald's has a lot of money and a lot of lawyers,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So you just really have to be careful. Those are the things. I don't think it matters so much about the color scheme or whatever you choose.
Okay.
Just make it universal, something easy that everybody can use.
Yeah.
Especially the person developing your website.
Hmm.
Or even if you're trying to do it yourself, you just got to be real careful about, where you get those fonts, and there's lots of programs where you can get those fonts and they're free and you can
Yes.
use them. So that's a real important thing to think about.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for those tips. So, in your opinion, what are the most common mistakes that you see people make when they are designing their own website? And I know you've seen a million of them. You've seen them in your travel.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, that wasn't a good choice, or they shouldn't have done that. So, what are you seeing out there?
When I look at a website,
Mhm.
some of the biggest mistakes. That's a hard one to think about.
Yeah.
I would say way too wordy,
Okay.
putting too many prices up front,
Yes.
Um, having, not enough pictures,
Okay.
not making the website very easy to navigate. If people need to
Mm.
figure out, well, where's that? How do I find that?
Yes.
You want
Yes.
it to be very, very simple.
Mm.
Nowadays people are scrolling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just want to hit buttons. They
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
want to have to search for things. So
Yeah.
don't make them search for things.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of websites out there that were done in the beginning of the internet, and they
Mm.
still look like that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And they don't
Yes.
work on a phone. So a lot of people don't know how to make it look right on all
Wow.
different devices. So I
Yes.
see a lot of that too, where your website looks great on my laptop, but then I get on my phone
Yeah.
and I can't read half of it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people on their phones now. So there's lots of little mistakes. And then when you look in the behind, there's no
Mhm.
keywords. There's nothing
Mm.
for the search engines to find. And that's very important in the front. Another one I think that is crucial is when you pick out your URL, your
Yeah.
www dot whatever your company is,
Yeah.
I would make sure that there's a very important keyword in there. Mine is hayfordmarketing.com.
Yeah.
Marketing is keyword. I get some people that'll come to me and say, "Oh, I want to call it, purple solutions," or whatever they come
Yes.
up with. And I'm like,
Yes.
well, that doesn't tell me what you do at all.
Wow.
It needs to be very obvious in the name of your
Yes.
business and in your URL
Mm.
what you do. I have a client that buys and recycles junk cars.
Yeah.
He named his business Always Buying Junk Cars. Guess where he comes up in the search engines?
Yeah.
First. He's got the letter A, says
Yeah.
exactly what he does. Google
Yeah.
has no problem when
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
says, buy my junk car,
Yeah.
bam, it
That's
pops up
perfect.
first.
Yeah.
So you have to think about,
Mm.
people want really cool and creative names,
Yes.
which is fun,
Yeah.
but that's for somebody who is very famous. People can do that
Yes.
because people already know who they are.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
if they have a company that is like, they've already got all the money, the publicity, all that stuff behind it.
Yeah.
Us
Yeah.
little guys, we need people to find us.
Right. Right. Find
We
me.
can be cute after we become millionaires. Then we can name stuff whatever we want. But in the beginning, we got to keep this stuff simple so people can find us.
I love
So,
that. I love that. You say be cute when you're a millionaire.
yes, yes, because, like, I can't even think of an example, but, you would know what it is because of
Yeah.
who it is.
Yeah.
And they have the right to do that.
Yeah.
They can call a brand or something Diamond Solutions because
Yeah.
that person
Yeah.
owns Diamond Solutions. There's no question. They don't
Right.
need it to come up on the search engines.
Right.
But the little guy who's the plumber, you can't call it Diamond Solutions and you're a plumber. That's not going to come up anywhere. Nowhere.
Oh, where?
It's a cute name,
Yeah.
but nobody knows what you do. Nothing's
Yeah.
going to. I see signs on the side of the road all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People paste their little sign up, and I'm like, what do they do?
What do you
What
do?
is it?
Right.
Yeah. So remember to be very, very specific and let people know what you do right off the bat.
So to piggyback after what we just were talking about people being able to find you, how do we optimize our websites for search engines and improve its visibility to attract more visitors?
Okay. I think I actually talked about this with you a while ago.
Yeah.
Search engine optimization, that is a big marketing word for big
Okay.
marketing companies to suck money out of people.
Really?
Okay. Really, all search engine optimization is to
Mhm.
make sure you have the right keywords in the
Yes.
back end
Yeah.
and on your homepage and on each page so that
Yeah.
Google can pull it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they talk about search engine optimization, really what they're talking about is you go out and get all your profiles. And what I mean by that is if you look on the internet and you put up a company's name, you're going to see them in Yelp,
Yeah.
Yahoo, Google,
Yeah.
all these different places. Well,
Yeah.
that's automatic. Okay. You have to go in there, get a username and password so you can
Right.
control the information because Google, all these things just pull it off of Google and
Yeah.
stick it in there. People
Yeah.
say, I didn't want to be on Yelp. I'm like, I know, but Yelp takes whatever they want from wherever they want.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you don't have a username and password to each one of these profiles, you
Yes.
don't have control over it.
Mm.
Now, there are some big companies, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's big companies out there
Yeah.
that will do that for you. We can put you everywhere with one button. You put in your information and bam, it goes there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it does until you stop paying for it.
Ooh.
Then it all disappears and you don't have control over any of it. Because
Wow.
I used to have those programs for my clients because I thought, how efficient, that's amazing. What
Yes.
I didn't know in the beginning was what happened afterwards. So small businesses sometimes they're like, well, can we hold off on that for a little while because I can't
Yeah.
afford that part, but I want to do this part. And
Yeah.
I work that way.
Yeah.
Well, when you stop that though, everything goes away.
Wow.
So I do it manually, which
Yes.
takes a long time,
Yeah.
but I have control. I have a spreadsheet of all the username and passwords for my client, and they
Yes.
can get into any of them at any time. Because what if you want to change your branding at some point?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
can get in there and change your logo, change your pictures, do all those things and update things. You can't
Yes.
do that if somebody else has control over it.
Wow.
So that's really what it is going out there and claiming all those spaces.
Yes.
Another way to get people to come to your website, other than that,
Mhm.
sharing links. Backlinks are very, very important. What a
Okay.
backlink is, okay,
Yeah.
is let's say I sell shoes,
Yes.
okay, and I find another company that sells the pants, the just suits that go with the shoes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys get together, send them an email. Hey, can I use a link to your website on my website and vice versa?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That should, the more backlinks that you have,
Uh-huh.
and all those profiles are also backlinks,
Uh-huh.
but there's lots of other ways to create some. And
Yes.
what that shows Google is that your website is trustworthy, that these other places will let you put those links on there. So
Mm.
Google says, okay, they're trustworthy, so we're going to push them higher.
Yes.
We're going to
Yes.
take that website, we're going to push it higher.
Yes.
That's how you climb on Google without paying for
Okay.
Google ads, because you can pay for a Google ad, be right there
Yeah.
smack on the top if you
Yeah.
want to pay $3,000 a day.
Mm-mm. No, nobody has
We
time for
can't
that.
do that.
No, no, nobody has time for that.
No, and nobody can afford that. A small
Yeah.
business can't afford that. So
Yeah.
that's how you do it. And a lot, you can also use your social media.
Yes.
Get on your social
Mm.
media, get on live,
Mhm.
talk about what you do, show people what you do, and
Yeah.
invite them to look at your website.
Mm.
Invite them to do
Yes.
those things.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
if you want to learn more. That's why you don't give away everything on social media. If you want to know more about this, you
See.
can go to my blog
Yeah.
on my website and
Yes.
read the rest of it.
I like
And
that.
that brings people to your website. They look at your blog and then they go, oh, well, let me see what else they have. And
Yeah.
then they start going through the whole thing. And each
Mm.
click on your
Yeah.
website helps you get farther and farther in the search engines.
I like
So
that.
there's a lot of ways, a lot of marketing companies have these great ways. Oh, we can do this and we can do that.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
can't till you
Yeah.
stop paying them. Then it all disappears.
Then it
If
all
you do it,
disappears.
yeah, if you do it yourself and you work at it, which
Yeah.
takes a few months,
Yes.
but you're going to get on the first page. You may not get it on top because that's where the ad people are, but you're going to be on the first page.
Mm.
And, you've done it yourself and you have control over it.
Yes.
That's the best part.
Yes.
Yes. Because a lot of these marketing companies, you don't have control over any of it. Not your
Mm.
website, not your profiles, not your business ads on anywhere. It's all theirs. So
Oh.
you decide to leave them, then you find out that you don't own any of it.
See, and I don't think people understand that or know that.
They don't. A lot of people don't know that until it's too late. And
Mm.
that's how I end up with my clients
Yeah.
is they figure all that out and then
Mhm.
they call me,
Mhm.
but some of them in tears. I
Wow.
can't get my website. I can't even get my Google listing. I don't know what's going on. I don't. And so I have to go in and fix it all. Call those companies. You need to release that. You can't do that. That's against the law. So I go through all this to fix everything, get it back in their name, and
Yeah.
we start over,
Oh my
which is
goodness.
a lot of work. Sometimes it takes, 2, 3 months because sometimes you have to get Google on the line because that marketing company doesn't even exist anymore.
What?
They'll disappear. And now you got to go find your website. You got to go find all your listings. And when you call Google My Business, it's in another country. So now you got to figure all that out. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
sometimes it takes a really long time. So I'm always elated when someone comes to me and says, I
Yeah,
started a business, but I don't have anything yet. And I'm like,
yeah.
thank goodness. Let's start from scratch and we'll get this all done the right way. And you'll have control over it.
So speaking of, hiring a website designer, if I don't want to do any of the DIY websites, the
Yeah.
Wixes, the all the different ones out there, what should I expect when I hire a website designer? What should I be looking for?
I would look for somebody who wants to do exactly what you're looking for.
See? Yeah.
So it, some web designers are going to tell you we're going to do it our way. And
Mm.
then here's your website. A lot of them do it that way.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way I do it is we work together. Now
Yeah.
when I'm working with a client, I do say, now there are some things I'm going to tell you that are very important
Yeah.
and you may not like it,
Yeah.
but this isn't going to work if we don't do it that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, we can't use this description's too long.
Yeah.
Shorten it. And
Yeah.
some people who, most people who own small business, they think, oh, well, I know how to do all this. So this is the way it's going to be done. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, Google's not going to find you. So I don't tell
Mm.
people things because I don't like what they did. I tell
Yeah.
them because I know what the search engines are looking for. And
Yes.
that's more
Yes.
important than, oh, this looks pretty.
Mm.
Yes, of course we want it to look attractive, but we
Yeah.
also want it to do its job. It's a
See,
tool.
it's a tool.
It's a tool. And if you don't build the house right, it's going to fall down. It's the same
Mm.
thing,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know. So look for someone who is going to work with you
Hmm.
and do how you want. Now, and I also hear some that say, now, if you're going to do a website that's humongous, yes, it's going
Yeah.
to take months.
Hmm.
It's going to take a lot of work. A database website's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
But for a small website, if they say to you, well, it's going to take about 4 months, that's insane.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's way too long, at
Wow.
least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends on what you're doing. But
Hmm.
a basic 3 page, here's what I do. I
Yeah.
want a button, send me
Yeah.
an email, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
week and a half at the
Right.
most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people come to me and they're like, they've been working on my website for 8 months. And I'm like, what?
What?
8 months? What are they doing? Are
Having
they
a
that
baby?
busy that you have to wait 8 months? I mean,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's important. Find someone that you click with because when you're developing a website, that is your business, that is your
Yeah.
passion. And you
Yes.
want somebody you can communicate with
Hmm.
that is going to understand that and understand what you're doing. And they're out there. You just have to find them. A lot of really good web designers are really terrible at marketing themselves,
Okay. Okay.
you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
because I came from a sales background.
Yeah.
So I understand, okay, here's the pretty website,
Yes.
but I understand the marketing side of it. And a lot of web designers don't, which
Mm.
that's okay. They're going to
Yeah.
make it look beautiful.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they do understand to put keywords and all those things in there.
Yeah.
But, sometimes they're hard to find,
Wow.
because they don't know how to do the marketing part because they're too busy
See.
working for everybody else, which I
See.
get. A person who cleans houses for a living, her house is a mess because she doesn't have time to do her house because she's doing everybody else's house. That it's the same thing. They're so busy making everybody else look good, they don't have time to market themselves.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And that's really the one you want.
Yeah, yeah. So on your website, it states that, you state that we cater to small businesses that have a small budget but need a big impact. So why
Yeah.
is it important to you to meet people where they are at and not charge thousands of dollars for a website?
Well, and I do charge. I mean, some of my websites are $1,700, $2,000,
Yeah, yeah.
but I do payments. I
Okay.
think I'm the only one out there that does that. I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm not for sure. I'm not going to say
yeah,
that for sure.
yeah,
But the
yeah,
reason I do that is because I get a lot of either young or single moms, or,
yeah,
this is their second job. They're
yes.
trying to pay for everything,
Yes, they are.
themselves. So
Yes.
when they come to me and they're like, I say, how much can you do a month?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
I can do $50 or I can do $200 or I can do 100.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the website and you pay me off each
Yes.
month. So
Yeah.
I get their credit card and I never run, and most places do this and I
Yeah.
don't. I
Yeah.
never run a credit card until I send an email. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to take the payment for that month. Is it a good time for you?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, as all of us women know, especially single women who have kids, there
Mm-hmm.
might come, I can't make the payment right now. He needs braces, you know. So I'll say, okay, how about next week?
Yeah.
So I work with people in that aspect because if they can get that going and
Yes.
they can make more money, they're not going to have any problem paying me.
You're so
But
right.
it's very hard in the beginning.
It is hard in
And
the
I
beginning.
understand that it was hard for me. I had to work a full-time job and did this on the side
Yeah.
until I finally became, a career.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just feel passionate about that because you can't help someone if you don't give them the tools to start. And without a website, all they have is Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg owns that. So that page can go down anytime he feels like it.
Oh, you nailed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you wouldn't build a house and have
Mhm.
somebody else own it on a
Mm.
property that somebody else owns,
Oh,
you
yes.
know? So
Yes.
your website, that's the only thing you have control over. You
Yes.
can have an Instagram, a TikTok, a Facebook,
Mhm.
all those things.
Yeah.
But if they decide to take it down, there's not a thing you can do about it. And I've seen people
See,
panic. And I'm
see.
like, but if you have a website, all
Mhm.
you have to do is get a new social media. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can start that over.
Yes.
Your website's already established, it's on Google. That can't go anywhere.
It's yours.
It's yours. You own it. Right. Exactly.
Mm.
That's why I think it's so important that
Yeah.
you own your website, because a lot of these marketing companies, you do not.
Mm.
And that
I,
should be yours, just like your business. It's your business. You
yes.
should own it.
Yes. I love
So
that.
not only I'll do websites for people, but some people have come to me and said, I want to do this myself.
Yeah.
I just need help.
Yes.
So I have a young man who's an artist and he wants to do it himself. And he said, do you do consulting? And I said, absolutely. So
Yeah.
every Monday I
Yeah.
talk to him and he says, give me another assignment. So I tell him something else to get done.
Yes.
And he does it. And he calls me next Monday,
Yeah.
and then so he pays me by the hour. We spend an hour or two together. And
Yeah.
and then I look at it and I'm like, that's great. You're doing awesome. Keep
I love
going.
that.
So we can do it that way as well.
Yeah. I love that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. Provide
I don't think there is
consulting
anybody who does that.
services for a website, for creating their website, because you're
Yeah.
right. It's like, some people are like, hey, I want to do this all by myself. Some people are like, hey, I need some help. Can you hold my hand? Can I
Yes.
get you to, teach me, to show me, guide me, so that way when I'm
Yes.
done with my website, I know everything about it. I know where everything is. I know how to make changes, move things around.
And
I
that's
love
important
that.
because some people don't have enough money to pay their web designer to do that all the time.
Yes. 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 I love that you're meeting literally everybody where they're at. Now, are there any other services that you provide clients other than designing websites?
Oh, yeah. We do a lot of things. I have some small businesses where we do all of their Instagram and Facebook posts.
Okay. Okay.
And we do that because they don't have time.
Yes.
And they just, like I have one guy and he cleans gutters for a living
Uh-huh.
and does yard work and landscaping, and he
Yeah.
does not have time to do that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So every day, and we also teach people about social media and how it works and what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah.
So most social media, they like one post a day. If you
Yeah.
start posting and posting all day long, they get it's
Yeah.
like spam. So, you can get your whole
Yes.
your whole account taken away.
Wow.
So once a day, maybe twice a day, if there's
Mhm.
something special to put up, we do a post on Facebook 7 days a week, and it goes straight to Instagram
Yeah.
because Mark Zuckerberg owns both of them. So we put those together. So what you post on Facebook can go directly to Instagram because you can
Yeah.
connect them.
Yeah.
So we take care of those for them, and we do it every day all year, even on
Mm.
the off seasons, because you don't want to get lost in that huge algorithm.
Yes.
So posting on social media once a month is not going to get you seen by anybody. You got to
Nobody.
keep up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to keep up with that.
Mm-mm.
So we do that. We also we offer video branding and editing. Okay, and
Okay.
mostly we do that for
Mm-hmm.
our service professionals.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
because if you have a clothing shop or a
Yeah.
coffee shop, you want a professional photographer to come in and a videographer to do that.
Yes.
If you're a guy who is cleaning gutters,
Yeah.
can't really make a dirty guy cleaning gutters look all that good. But
No.
what you do want is a picture of his van coming in, him
Yeah.
climbing the ladder. So my son goes out, and I shouldn't even say son, he is my partner because
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
a grown man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and with his GoPro and all his equipment, he follows these guys, up
Wow.
and down the ladders and all over the place,
That's
and
so
gets
cool.
these shots that we can use on social media that
Yeah.
look good. It's
Yeah.
different than the other branding photography,
Yes.
because that's more of great shots of you doing nails or you doing
Yes.
someone's hair.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
We do that.
Yeah.
We also help people set up their accounting software and I even have one client that I do all his estimates and his invoicing for. I am not an accountant by any stretch of the imagination, but he doesn't have time to do his estimates. So he'll get all the numbers and
Yeah.
we'll get on his accounting software and
Yeah.
I'll plug them all in and we'll email it to the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
You know,
it.
little things. We're basically anything you need as an assistant. Like if you needed a personal assistant to
Yeah.
do certain things,
Yeah.
call us. That's what we do.
Oh my
We'll
God.
do that.
I
We
love that.
used to have a guy that rented dumpsters. He
Yeah.
was one man band. He could not keep up with all this. He
Yeah.
said, I can't answer the phone. I just don't have time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, have it redirected to my place.
Yeah.
We'll answer the phone. We'll
What?
answer the phone with your company name. We'll
Yeah.
take the information and we'll get you the message. And he
I
said,
love it.
that sounds amazing. So we
I,
kind of take on just about anything.
yeah. I love it. I love it. So, Catherine, what's the best way for our viewers to get in contact with you?
They can go to my website, which is hayfordmarketing.com, and call me.
Okay.
I don't have people answering the phone and putting you on voicemail and all. Just
Yeah.
call me. There's
Yeah.
someone to actually pick up the phone and talk to. And
Yeah.
that's rare these days.
It is
You
rare.
know,
It is
it's
rare.
very hard to get somebody on the phone. So I want to get to know my clients. My clients become my family. They
Yes.
really do. I've had clients I've had for 25 years. They
Wow.
don't go anywhere because
Yeah.
they're like, she can help me figure things out. And then she teaches me how to do it. That's
Yes.
the most important thing.
Yes. That's
I
what
want
it
to give them the skills to be able to do this stuff. And if
Yes.
they don't have time, great, they call me and I do it. But if they had to, they could do it.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
yeah, call me, look at my website. I'm all over social media.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to get a hold of me. Email me.
I love it. I love it. Catherine, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your wisdom and your knowledge with us. It has been so greatly appreciated.
Well, and thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Designing a website can seem like a daunting task for beginners, but with the right approach, it can meet your needs as well as your clients. Just remember to keep your audience in mind, prioritize usability, functionality, and personality, and you'll be on your way. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future interviews. So until next time, keep living ambitiously, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.